teaching. Okay, there we go. All right, well, let's just take a moment sitting upright. And sit up tall. So one of the things that can keep us from sitting tall is tight hips. So if your knees are really high up, it means that you most likely have tight hips. And then it's harder to sit up tall. So you end up looking more like, you know, like a rounded back here. So see if you can, in any way, you can take your legs out and maybe put blocks underneath the knees or right above the knees. And then maybe you can sit up taller. That's one option. Putting another blanket underneath you is another option. The main thing here is that you want to accommodate a tall, straight spine, however you can get there. Yoga is mostly actually associated with the spine. So everything that we do, and me as a teacher, I'm always looking at everybody's spines. And so in a sitting position, we want the natural curves, the lower back drawing inward, the upper back gently curving outward, and then the neck curving inward. So as long as you have a straight spine and you can feel those natural curves, and then just close your eyes for a moment. And relax down into your hips. Feel a softness there at the hips. Let the legs drop down towards the floor. And then on an inhale, lift up through your spine as if a string is pulling up from the center top of your head. And then on your next exhale, roll your shoulders back and down and turn your palms open towards the ceiling so that the upper arms are in line with the sides of your torso and you're sitting up tall. And now take a moment to tune into your breath. Soften all around your face, across your eyes, your forehead, between your brows. Your lower jaw relaxed, your lips closed, and the breath just gently moving through the nostrils, very soft and subtle movement of air. And take the time to tune inward. Let all the activities of the morning, since you woke up, just drop away. And feel your sitting area where you are connected to the earth. And the breath moving in and out of your body every moment, paying attention. And even the thoughts are part of your every moment. If they come in and have something to say, just acknowledge that and allow that thought to just drop away. And go back to your attention on the breath. And then coming to a slow, low, light breath, take one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly above the belly button. And slow, low, and light breathing is very nourishing to the nervous system. So there should be hardly any movement in your chest hand. There's just a feeling of warmth and comfort over your heart center there, but hardly any movement in your body from your breath in the chest. Most of the movement of your breath is in your lower hand at the diaphragm area. So just pay attention to that movement dropping down. So that's the low part. And feel the spread of the diaphragm all the way around your lower ribs. So you can feel your side ribs expanding. You can feel the back ribs expanding on the inhale. And of course, the front ribs where your hand is, all the way around. And then as you exhale, there's a narrowing in that same circumference. And a little drawing back of the belly. So just watch that movement back and forth. And then the slow part is just noticing the little pause at the end of the exhalation. There's always one there, and with your hand there, you perhaps can feel it more. Little pause at the end of the exhalation before you take your inhalation. And slowing the breath down, letting the exhale become longer, and then there's that little pause before you take the inhale. Nourishing your nervous system, nourishing all the organs in your body with this gentle massage, the diaphragm moving up and down horizontally in your body. Letting your face, your mind relax of all the busy thoughts, just letting them slide away as you continue to pay attention to the breath. And then go ahead and release your hands from your body. Gently open your eyes and make sure that your spine is still tall, that you haven't dropped back into the lower back. So have your lower back curve going forward a little bit, your upper back between the shoulder blades, rounding back a little bit, and the neck, the back neck coming forward a little bit. And then you're going to take your right hand and you can put it on the floor, or if that's too far away, you can place your hand on a block and right next to or a little bit a ways from your right hip. So you're leaning over a little bit. Getting into your left side body, take your left hand and the palm faces up towards the ceiling. And so you're at a little bit of a C curve. And as you inhale, reach that arm up and only as far as you can comfortably go. But you're allowing your left ribs to move into that C shape a little bit more. And then as you exhale, flip the palm over and bring the arm down. So you're still in that side bend, a little side bend, keeping anchored through the left hip as you inhale and bring your left arm up again. And then flip the palm over and exhale the arm down. Okay, now we're going to just add a little movement with the head. As you inhale, take the arm up, palm faces up. And then as you exhale, the palm flips down, the arm goes down, and just look towards the floor, however far your neck can rotate with comfort. And again, inhale, the head centers as the arm comes up, the palm flips up towards the ceiling, facing forward. And then as you exhale, flip the palm over, facing down, the arm goes down, and your head turns towards the floor. And then push off the right fingers and Bring yourself back up again. And then again, check in with that nice tall spine from the tail all the way up to the head. Inhale and lift up tall. And then as you exhale, bring the left fingers over to the side in line with the left hip, a little bit away. And again, if you need a little height, take your block over there and place your hand on top of the block. And then your chest is faced forward. So you haven't turned your chest towards the floor. The chest is open. Take your right hand, palm facing up, out to the side. And as you inhale, the arm goes up. Now notice any difference here in this shoulder movement. As you exhale, flip the palm down, exhale the arm. So the head just stays neutral now. Go with your breath through the nose, inhaling the arm up, palm flips up. Keep the left shoulder down away from your ear. Drop that left shoulder down. Exhale, flip the palm down. Take the hand or arm all the way down. Now let's add the head movement. Anchor through the right hip. Reach the right arm up. Head is centered. And then as you exhale, the arm rolls down as your head turns to comfortably turn towards the floor, your left arm. Inhale the right arm up, anchor through the right hip as you reach into those right ribs, head centered. Exhale, the arm comes down and turn your head towards the floor. And then push off the left hand and come back up to center. Good. Okay. So we're going to do, take the legs out if you have them crossed and stretch out through the legs, push out through the heels, pull back the toes, and then roll the shoulders back and down. So this is a pose within itself. It's called Dandasana, which means staff pose. So sitting up tall, and if you can bring the legs together. Otherwise, hip width is just fine. Hands are down alongside your hips. And if you have long arms, you can bend your elbows back like a stork's leg, or to avoid the shoulders hitching up. So you want the shoulders down, and then the hands there are helping the chest to lift up. And again, where's those spinal curves? Sit up tall. Push through the heels, pull back the toes. Excellent. Now let's see if you can keep the spine tall. So you're going to take the hands away from the sides of the hips without letting the spine collapse, and link the fingers together in front. So you're interlacing the fingers. The legs are still really active here. Press the palms away and drop the shoulders down. So we're getting a little hand stretch. So look, you can see your hands right now. Pull back the thumbs, pull back the pinky fingers, dome the palms out in front of you. How much can you open up in the wrists? So squeezing the forearms towards each other, but keep the shoulders down. Good, and then flip the palms over. And you have an interlace that was just real comfortable with this one pinky on the bottom. Now switch, so the other pinky's on the bottom, get all the webs of the fingers together, and then flip the palms away. And the same thing, the thumbs pull back towards your belly and the pinkies towards your face, and then doming the palms out in front of you. See if you can squeeze in the forearms any amount, but keep the shoulders down. See the shoulders slide down the back, or just opening the hands. And can you open the toes at the same time? I can see some of your toes, but see if you can open the toes and spread the toes. The thighs are really active. And now can you get that spinal curve to lift up towards the ceiling? Where's that string from the center top of the head? Good. And then flip the palms back over, and let's just do a little bit of undulation in the shoulders and the hands, fingers, wrists, and just loosen up any tension. Good. Okay, so we're going to come up to standing now. And have your chair close by. And your seat facing you, the seat of the chair facing you. going to stand in Tadasana. That's our mountain pose. And I'm just going to face you for a moment so you'll be facing your chair, but you're going to have your legs hip width. And pay attention now in this position to those spinal curves. So you want the lower, we're all different in our in the way that we have our postures, but pretty universal here is the lower back comes in without being hyperextended. So this would be hyperextended. So you want to find a happy medium if your tail sticks back, if that's part of your posture. You can bend the knees and then draw the tail down and lift up from the front, like that little zipper I talk about sometimes. And then you can straighten the legs. Now, and then if you're rounded here, so this would be hyper flexed in the upper back. So you want to see if you can roll the shoulders back and bring the shoulder blades into the spine a little bit. And then another thing that happens super common in the neck is that the chin juts forward. So see if you can bring the chin back, ears in line with shoulders, shoulders in line with side hips in line with outer ankles, standing tall in your mountain pose. And then roll the inner arms open so that your shoulders across the collarbones feel really broad. Good. Now, pressing down through the feet, and I'm not facing my chair because I'd like you to see me better, but just stay where you are, no need to turn. So we're going to take your left arm, just like we did when we were sitting, and as you inhale, reach it up, and then you're going to get into this side body a little bit. So press down through that left foot and reach into this C shape. And then as you exhale, flip the palm down and come back upright again. Let's get into those ribs again. Left ribs opening up as you inhale. And reach over, that right shoulder stays down. Exhale and flip the palm down as you come down. Now we're going to do something a little different than we did when we were sitting. You're going to do the same thing here where you lift the arm up. And we are going to add the head, but the arm movement, the elbow bends out to the side and you look down to your right. And then stay in the C curve. Inhale and reach up again. And your head centers. So only within your arm movement, you're staying in the side bend. Stay in the side bend and the elbow pulls out to the side towards the ribs and you look down. And let's do that one more time. Inhaling, staying in your C curve, reaching into those left ribs, open up the fan of the rib cages, and then exhale, pull the elbow down and look down. Now to come upright again, just reach up through that left arm and bring the spine upright and the arm down. Okay, so now you're standing back in your Tadasana again, the arms are down. So we had two movements here. I just want to clarify, and I know I kind of threw that out at you without demonstrating, but I'm just going to clarify. The first one is reaching up and curving in and then coming back upright again. And then after we do that a couple times, the second one is staying in the side curve and doing your arm and head movement together, but you're staying in the C curve as you do that. This other hand just slides down the outside of the thigh. Okay, let's do your right arm now, standing up tall in your Tadasana. As you inhale, flip the right palm open up towards the ceiling and reach into the right rib. So you do a little bow, a little stretch into the right ribs. And then as you exhale, flip the palm down and come upright again through the spine. So we're not really doing anything with the head except for keeping it in line with the spine. As you inhale, left hand slides down the outer thigh as the right arm reaches up and over within your ability, and then flip the palm down, exhale, straight up again, Tadasana. Now this time, as we go in, inhale, we're gonna stay in the C shape. So the right ribs are bowed, And then as you exhale, pull the elbow down and look down towards the floor, just within the ability of your neck. And then inhale, staying in that C shape, your head centers, reach into those right ribs, and exhale, pull the elbow down, look down. And then one more time, inhale, reaching up, reach, reach, reach. And then as you exhale, pull the elbow down and look down. Then to come out, stretch up through the right arm and let that pull you back up to center again in Tadasana. Okay, so I had you facing your chair. Now we do a little cat-cow. Bend the knees, hinge at the hip crease, and take your hands on the seat of the chair underneath the shoulders. So if you need to walk in closer to your chair to get that alignment, please do. Heels press down into the mat, shoulders pull back away from the ears. And now on your next inhale, lift your tail and take your chest forward, but don't overlift the chin. So a nice soft curve in your back neck. Then as you exhale, tuck your tail, round your back, and let your head release. And do that a few more times. On the inhale is the lift of the tail, a little squeeze in the lower back. You get a little back bend action there. Lift your buttock bones. Exhale, round the back, tuck the tail, let the head just droop. 2 more times. Inhale, open the chest. Watch your back neck. Keep it very soft. Exhale, round your tail. And last time. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, round the tail. And then come into neutral and take one hand on each hip. And from that point, you're just going to swivel up, keeping your spinal curves. Press through the feet and straighten the legs. And then both palms flipped up this time. Take your arms up. Flip the palms down. Exhale and swing them all the way around and back to center, palms in front of the chest. And then I'm just going to, so you're going to turn to the side so that your right side body is in line with the seat of your chair. And then spread your feet wide so that your right foot is in line with the front seat of your chair. So if you drop a line down, a plumb bob from the front edge of the seat, your front edge of your pinky side of your foot would be right there. Good. And now the same thing, you want to squeeze in the inner thighs towards each other. So when we spread the legs, it's easy to just drop into a slough or a, like a not such great posture. So to help with that, you need to squeeze the inner thighs towards each other, but at the same time, keep dropping down through the outer feet. So the outer feet roll towards the floor, but you keep your big toes engaged on the floor, big toe mounds on the floor, and then squeeze in your inner thighs so that you can lift up your chest, roll the shoulders back and down. Good. And now turn your left toes in slightly so this whole leg rotates inward. Then take your right foot and rotate it out. So you have the back leg rotating inward and the front leg rotating out. The front leg is the one closest to the chair. The chest stays in line with the front of your mat or along the front way you're facing. Good. Now take the arms out. See how the front knee has a slight bend to it, and palms rotated up towards the ceiling, shoulders drop down the back. Inhale here, and as you exhale, come into a side bend and just place the hand on the seat of the chair. Good. Now, one thing that ends up happening here is sometimes the head droops, sometimes it's lifted. So perhaps you can even see your video there and get the head to be in line with the spine. Good. Now this upper arm reaches up and brings you back up again on an inhale. And then on an exhale, back down again. Placing the hand on the chair. One last time, inhale, reaching up through the left side of your body. And exhale, coming down into the side bend. Okay, so the front knee still has a bend to it, but if you wanted to, if you had more flexibility, you could straighten the leg a little bit more, but you just want to make sure that that doesn't cause any distortion in the spine. Good. Watch the head. Now as you inhale, you're going to reach, keep the left shoulder, right shoulder out of your ear as you reach away from that back heel. So the back heel is placed firmly into the floor as you reach away from that back heel. Good. And now as you exhale, you're going to pull the hand back to land on the shoulder. So the hand's landed on the shoulder there. And now it's a little more intense without the big long arm there. You're going to move up from the elbow. So now the elbow reaches reaches up and reach into the left ribs. And then as you exhale, back down again. So you're staying in your side bend as you just reach up through the elbow. Watch that you're not straining in the neck. Exhale back. And one last time, inhale up. And exhale back. Good. And then take that arm, reach it up. Now do bend that front knee. If you've straightened the leg a little bit, make sure the knee has a good bend so you have support to press off with this hand and lift up with the left arm and come up. Good. Okay. Turn the feet forward and step them together. And we're back in our Tadasana again. So just notice the side that we were working on compared to the side that was in line with the chair. If you notice any difference. One side feels a little longer than the other, so let's do the other side. Take the chair and bring it over so the seat faces now your left side body. Okay, and then spread the legs wide. So you have the left pinky side of your foot in line with the front seat of the chair. Squeeze in the inner thighs as you roll down through the pinky toe side of your feet. So you feel nice and strong, this A-frame of your legs, and the feet are the foundations. Feel even across the bottoms of the feet. Good. And then turn in the right toes slightly. And then the left foot turns around to point underneath the chair. The shoulders stay in line with the front. So there's a little turn of the hips, but the shoulders stay in line with the front. A little bend of the front knee in line with the toes. Just glance down, make sure the knee's in line with the toes and not wobbling in. Take the arms up now with the palms rotated up towards the ceiling. Slide those shoulders down the back. Inhale in this position, and as you exhale, side bend over and land lightly on the chair. Good. Take an inhale and an exhale in this position. And then as you inhale, push through the feet and lightly come back up again, palms still rotated up. And exhale, hinging at the side hip. Coming down, place the hand on the chair lightly. Take a breath here. And then one more time, inhaling, coming upright, both palms rotated upward. And as you exhale, anchor through the back heel as you gently come down and stay in your side bend. And just like we did last time, if you would like to, you can straighten that front leg slightly, just as long as it doesn't distort the spine. As soon as you feel any distortion in the spine, bend the knee more. So let's go ahead and reach through that right arm away from the back heel. So the back heel presses down as you reach away from that, opening up the right ribs. And then as you exhale, slide the hand down and come to touch the shoulder. And again, make sure the spine is rotated up towards the ceiling. And then we'll go into our little elbow movements. So it's the elbow. Inhale, opening up the elbow over the ear as much as you can. And then as you exhale, the elbow comes down towards the ribs. So just within your own ability here, taking that elbow up and really reaching into the rib cages. And then exhale, coming back down again. And then inhale, coming up and reaching into the right ribs. And then exhaling back down again. Good. And then do bend the front knee now. If you've had the legs straighter, press down through the feet strongly, reach up through the right arm, and on an inhale, come back up to standing and turn the feet and step the feet together. Now make sure that your chair is on your mat. All four legs of the chair are on the mat, and turn towards your chair again. We're going to do a little down dog, so we don't want the chair to slide. At home, sometimes you can push the chair up against another piece of furniture that's stable or the wall. But we're going to make sure that we're stable with our chair here as you come back into a little squat. Hinge at the hip crease. Place the hands on the front edge of the seat of the chair. So put one hand on one side of the chair. And then step back into a down dog position. So the feet are hip width, a little farther back than the hips, so you're getting that length equally through the sides of your body. So pushing the hips back away from the hands. Make sure that your shoulders are drawn back away from the ears. And bend the knees a little bit here. Again, we want to watch those spinal curves. We're stretching through the spinal curves. The head stays in line with the spine. The knees are bent. And push back through the hips. How much can you push back through the hips with the knees bent and straighten the spine? It is nice to get a back leg stretch, but here we want to pay attention to the spine first. And you want the spine to be nice and long from the base of the palms all the way back to the side hips. And now, as much as you comfortably can, straighten the legs by lifting the kneecaps and thighs. Heels press down and get a little bit of a back leg stretch. Again, without distorting the spine. Now on an inhale, come forward, and let's just do a little upper body strengthening in our plank. So the shoulders are over the wrists. Draw the navel back away from the floor towards the spine. Make sure the shoulders are rolled back and down. The head is in line with the spine. Squeeze those inner thighs towards each other and just keep breathing. Perfect. And then push through the hands and send your hips back, bend the knees, and walk in towards the chair. The feet are underneath your hips now. As you bend the knees, swivel up, back to Tadasana. Okay, let's go to our first side, and we'll just move the chair back and forth. Take the chair over to the side so it's in line with your right side of your body. And I'm just going to demonstrate this next standing pose. It really gets into all the angles. So we've been mostly working on this side panel here. Now we're going to start to work on, when you think about a panel, it really is a panel where this is a line like the side seam of your shirt, but we want to think about it more as like a panel, like if you were making a rag doll or something, that you would have this side panel all the way down, and that's where we're working from the outer blade of your foot all the way through. And let me just show you this move. So we're going to do pretty much the same leg position as we did before. The chest is facing forward, and we'll come down like this. Then we'll reach up to make sure that we're nice and long through the arm, and then again place the hand on the shoulder. On an inhale, you're going to roll back and look up. So only look up is, so maybe it's just this direction instead of here. If this bothers your neck, it's up to you. And then as you exhale, this hip stays stable as you wrap around. In fact, this is called the wrap, where you take your elbow out alongside your ear, not down, but keep your elbow up alongside the ear. That's your exhale. As you inhale, you open up, keep your back hip and leg as steady as possible. As you exhale, just right here is where you're wrapping around and then opening up from here. So we're not really moving the hips, they stay stable. Okay, so we're gonna start working into a different angle here. So step the feet wide. And again, the front edge of your right foot is in line with your chair. Turn the left toes in slightly and then the right foot out. 90 degrees pointing underneath your chair, chest is in line with the front. Good. And the knee has a slight bend to it. Bring the arms up, inhale. And as you exhale, go back into your side bend, placing the hand on the seat. And then inhale and reach up through that left arm, get broad across the shoulder, and then place the hand on your shoulder. Okay, good. Now, notice the front knee here, it has a bend to it, that helps stability. Drop down into that left back heel. So keep stable in your low body. As you inhale now, twist open towards the ceiling, your chest and your gaze. And as you exhale, now round the chest down towards the floor, but the elbow reaches alongside the ear, like parallel to the floor. And then on an inhale, we open up again and shift your gaze to accommodate your neck comfort. And then exhale and wrap around from the belly button and the ribs, not the hips. The hips are stable. Drop through that back heel to keep stable there. One last time, inhaling, opening the chest towards the ceiling. And exhaling, wrapping around. Elbow parallel to the floor and reaching away from that hip. Good. Inhale, come back up to center. Reach up through your left arm. Press down through the feet strongly and reach up on an inhale. Coming out of the side bend. Then turn the feet forward and step them together. Now notice, do we have a little bit more depth into that side panel? Even in the hip region, perhaps. And the neck. All right, let's take that next layer of depth onto the other side, swiveling the chair around. So that your left side body is in line with the seat of your chair. Stand tall in Tadasana. So this is neutral. You always want to pay attention to your neutral before you move into a pose. It's a lot of times injury happens if you move too quickly. So just take a moment to feel grounding through the feet, lift up through the legs, roll the shoulders back and down, turn the palms open, and feel your spinal curves nice and even through the lower back, upper back, and neck. Then step the feet wide. Turn the right toes in slightly so that whole leg rotates inward. Then take your left toes out so that whole leg rotates outward. And make sure that front knee is in line with the toes. And then inhale and reach the arms up to shoulder level, anchor through the back heel. Inhale up through the center top of the head, and as you exhale, side bend, landing the hand gently onto the seat of the chair. And then as you inhale, opening the chest, reaching up through the right arm. And as you exhale, take the hand down onto the shoulder. So remember, we're doing the wrap here. So you're stabilizing from the back heel, pressing it down towards the floor, keeping this hip pinned with that anchor. And as you rotate from the belly button on an inhale, gaze up, open the chest. And as you exhale, round from the belly button and ribs, reaching the elbow past the ear. Inhale, opening up. Open the chest and gaze up. And as you exhale, your gaze goes down towards the seat of the chair, but keep that right hip pinned in place with the anchor of the back heel. Inhale, open back. Exhale, round. And last time, inhaling, opening the ribs. So the ribs are like a cylinder rolling up towards the ceiling. And now they're rolling around towards the floor. And on your next inhale, just come back to neutral, elbow in line with shoulder, bend that front knee, anchor through the feet, reach up through the right arm. And on an inhale, swing your body back up again. Turn the feet around to face forward, then step them to the center. All right, let's do a little bit of what Laura looks like she just naturally wants to do after all of that. Okay, so it was a lot of shoulder work too, a lot of neck work, so you can allow the head to just, we'll do a little bit of cool down here in a moment. Rolling the shoulders through the wrists, the hands, and the fingers, and what I like to call octopus arms. So one thing that's just become, I took my son down to college Monday and Tuesday, and we were in the car a lot. And I'm a super active person. I'm always, you know, I have a landscaping business. I live the life of, you know, lots to do. But sitting in the car, I felt like my legs were atrophying. And I said that to Eric. I was like, I just feel like my legs are just like going dead. They're completely atrophying. He's like, no, no. And then I remembered that Tom Myers, who does this, he really works with fascia and connective tissue. He's pretty much a leading expert right now on the subject. And I've been doing some webinars with him, and I remembered him saying that if you don't use a body part for 24 hours, it does start to atrophy. So that's why it's really important, and it's nice that you have different teachers for your practice during the week to move all parts of your body over time, you know, over the 7 days of the week, and make sure that nothing starts to lose its, you know, if you don't use it, you lose it kind of thing. So octopus arms or dancing are great ways to get everything moving, okay? And another way too is to have the feet at hip width here. We're working with lubricating fascia, lubricating connective tissue, your lymph, and all the circulation in your body gets some movement by just a little bounce. So if you bend the knees a little bit, and of course be careful if you have knees that are sensitive, but you just do a little bounce, let the arms be loose like ragdoll arms, and the head is loose on top of the head, but you know, careful if you have any neck issues not to be too loose there. But the idea is to just, you know, allow everything to just bounce up and down, and it helps to circulate into those places that I was just saying that we don't always use. And especially depending on what you do, even repetitive movement, like if you're a gardener or something, but you're always doing the same movement, then those things, those other places that aren't getting the movement, like oftentimes the side body, like what we're working on today, end up getting ignored. And so here, this is a way to get circulation into all those places with just a little bouncing. Okay, and then slowing down the bounce and bringing yourself back up to Tadasana, and just stand for a moment and feel. That's one beautiful part of yoga, is we take the time to feel the effects of our movement and our breath, not only on our bodies, but on the mind. And oftentimes from that bouncing, you get a little warmth, which is a good sign. Okay. All right, so let's come down to the floor. You can move your chairs out of the way. You might want to have it close by if you want to put your legs up on the chair for our relaxation. And you might need to move your screen a little bit so I can see you. And it looks like, Karen, you worked out your cord thing. It's been nice to see you. So coming down, and let's go ahead and come down onto your belly. So it is nice to have a little cushion. Underneath you, I like to have a little blanket. And make sure that your whole pelvis is cushioned if you're using a blanket. And come down so that your arms are at a W shape on either side of you. You can take your second blanket if you have one and just put a little roll underneath your forehead, above your, like at the bridge of your nose. Okay, so I'm just going to keep my head lifted so that you can hear me better, but you're resting your head either on the floor or forehead on a blanket roll, and the arms are at a V shape on either side of you. Okay, and so from here, your grounding is at the tops of the feet, so the big toes going straight back, the fronts of the thighs, and the front of the pelvis. So as you exhale, see if you can draw the navel away from the floor and engage a little bit more towards the floor at the tops of the feet, tops of the thighs, and the front of the pelvis. And your buttocks will firm up a little bit. That's a good sign, but make sure that it's not clenched. You're not overusing the buttock muscles. And then as you inhale, just bring your spine up in the cobra, lengthening through the center top of the head. And as you exhale, come back down. And on an inhale, coming back up again. So there's 3 parts to this. We're in part 1, just lifting the chest. Arms are still on the floor, legs are still on the floor. Exhale down. Good. Now on the inhale, lift your chest and your right leg. So lift the leg up, just the leg, not the hip. And exhale down. And then the left leg, this next lift of the chest. And bring everything back down again. And now the chest and head and the right leg. Exhale back down. And the head and the chest and the left leg on your inhale. And exhale back down. So we have one more part. And that's when you come up with the head and chest, lift your right leg, and then just reach your left arm. So you get a little bit of a diagonal there. And then exhale back to the W shape with the arms, leg and chest down. Inhale, head and chest, left leg, right arm. So the right arm and the left leg reach away from each other. Exhale back down to your W shape. One more time, lifting the right leg, left arm, head and chest, reach through the center top of the head. Exhale down. Last time, right arm, left leg, up into your cobra. Good, and exhale down. Then you can move that blanket if you had one underneath your forehead and just carefully roll over onto your backs. You can keep the cushion there underneath your spine. And knees are bent. Okay, so anytime you do any back bend, you can't just leave your practice at that point. You have to stretch out the lower back. So let's do that by taking the knees in towards the chest, one hand on the top of each knee, and let's just go ahead and gently roll the legs, the knees away from your chest on the inhale. And as you exhale, the knees come in towards your chest. So we're just giving the lower back a little massage after our cobra sequence. Inhaling the knees away just as long as your arms go. Exhaling the knees in. Inhaling the knees away. Exhaling the knees in. Now, take one hand on the back of each thigh. And on an inhale, stretch the legs up. And on an exhale, bring the knees in. Inhale, stretch up through those back legs, push up through the heels, spread the toes back towards your face. Exhale, bring the knees in. Inhale, stretch the legs up and keep them lifted, and exhale, draw the navel back towards the floor. Now as you inhale, spread the legs wide. So the legs are going really wide apart from each other, heels reaching away from each other. And then on an exhale, bring the thighs together. And 2 more times. Inhale, reaching those legs out away from each other, spreading them wide. Exhale, squeezing in the thighs till they touch. Keep the toes lively, the bottoms of the feet open, stretching out again through the heels. And now stop here with the legs wide. So you're kind of like having antennas reaching out through the heels. And now do some ankle rolls. Do ankle rolls with the legs wide, one direction. So like 4 or 5 times circling around in one direction. And then swivel it around. The legs, the feet are rotating at the ankles the other direction. Good. And then when you're done there, both directions, as you exhale, squeeze the legs together. And bend the knees in towards the chest. Give them a little hug. Thank you, legs. And you can rock side to side, give your low back a little massage. And then when you're ready, you can let go of that little ball, rolling in the ball there. Place the feet on the floor. Open the arms towards the ceiling, shoulder blades flat. And however you want your legs, so you can put them up on a chair. You can put a little roll underneath your knees, which helps the lower back to relax. Or if you feel totally fine with having the legs just stretched out, you're welcome to do that too. Final resting pose. So soften your body on the floor. Just allow everything that we did in our class today to just integrate and settle. Letting all your muscles relax. Across your face, your forehead, around your eyes. Relax the lower jaw. Soften your whole face. And quiet the breath. Soften your breath, feeling it moving gently in and out of the nostrils. Low, slow, and light. And then relax through the neck and the shoulders on the floor, letting them become heavy and flat. Feel that relaxation all the way down the arms, through the elbows, the lower arms, the wrists, the hands, and the fingers. All of those muscles relaxing. And then feel your chest broadening, softening on the exhale. Your rib cages settling down more towards the floor. Relax through the belly and the waist, your lower back. Feel the support of the floor underneath the pelvis, the buttock area, the hips, the front of the pelvis. Feel your whole spine supported by the floor from the top of your head, the back of your head, all the way down to the tail. And then continue your relaxation through the hip joints, soften the hips, letting the legs just roll where they want to in a relaxed way. Soft through the thigh muscles, inner and outer thighs, front and back thighs. Relaxing through the knees, softening around the kneecaps, behind the knees, inner and outer knees. And then feel that relaxation sliding down to the lower legs, calf muscles, flattening on the floor or the chair. The shins, inner and outer shins, feeling soft. And then down into the ankles. Feel relaxed all the way around the ankles, inner and outer, the Achilles, front ankles. And then finally through the feet. Feel the support of the floor underneath the heels and allow the feet to completely relax across the tops of the feet, the inner arches, the outer feet, the bottoms of the feet, and out through the base of the toes, the necks of the toes, and the tips of the toes. Take a few sweeping breaths from the top of the head all the way down through your body, through your arms, through your legs, and out through the feet. Any tension, releasing on the exhale. And then slowly bringing your body to life, wiggling the fingers and toes. Bend your knees in towards the chest. And as you exhale, roll over to one side. Gently open the eyes. And then use your arms to push yourselves up to a comfortable sitting position. And again, sit up tall. So accommodating your spine. Always thinking about that spine. Spinal column, very important, lots of mobility there, but we want to keep the spine in line. Not only for spinal health, but your nervous system, all your organs. Rely on the alignment of your spine, your shoulder girdle, your pelvis. So as you sit tall, just feel that alignment as much as you can right now in your own body. And then bring the palms together in front of the chest for a moment of gratitude for this day, for this life, for your body, your breath, your mind. For this practice of yoga that helps us appreciate that, all of those parts of ourselves, bringing in that sense of spirit and heart, integrating into wholeness. And then anything else you'd like to bring into your heart this morning with gratitude. And then gently open your eyes, and the light within me greets the light within you. Namaste. Thank you, ladies. Looks like our connection remained good, so I'm so pleased. So remember to move all parts of your body throughout your week.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good. There we go.
Lewellyne. Lewellyne. Oh, guess she's gone. Hi, Laura.
All right.
Hi,
have a good afternoon, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Lewellyne.
Yes. Yes. I'm here.
Lewellyne.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys. Good to see you. Yes.
Is this, I can't see you, but where's your son going to college?
Oh, he's going to Linfield College in Oregon. Keep things nice and safe and create a little bubble.
And did Hazel get her visa?
All an experiment, but we'll see how it goes. We're in process, but it's looking good.